What were your thoughts like during this day?
March 2000. Michael Saylor loses $6 billion in a single day. His company's stock crashes 98%. He goes from tech billionaire to industry pariah overnight.
It's really stressful and unpleasant because you think about all the other people that you let down.
Fast forward to today.
There's more Bitcoin than every country on the planet.
That same man now controls over $74 billion in Bitcoin. He's become crypto's most powerful evangelist.
Well, our goal is to accumulate as much Bitcoin as we can on behalf of our shareholders.
Predicting Bitcoin will hit $13 million per coin.
Every Bitcoin you don't buy is going to cost you $13 million, my friend.
This is the story of the greatest comeback in financial history, and why one MIT engineer believes he's found the future of money. Michael Saylor is either a visionary or completely insane. There's no middle ground with this man. He's the CEO who turned his software company into the world's largest corporate Bitcoin holder. He's the former billionaire who lost everything in the dot-com crash and rebuilt his empire on digital gold. He's the MIT engineer who thinks Bitcoin is humanity's greatest invention since fire.
Today, we are examining the complete transformation of Michael Saylor, how he built a tech empire, watched it crumble, and then bet everything on a digital currency that most people still don't understand. By the end of this history, you will understand why this man gave up on traditional business to become Bitcoin's most unlikely prophet, and why his $74 billion bet might be the smartest trade in history.
The MIT prodigy Michael Saylor was born to be an engineer. MIT double major in aeronautics and engineering. Full Air Force scholarship. The plan was simple: become a fighter pilot, serve his country, live the dream. Then a heart murmur changed everything. No fighter jets, no military career, just a 22-year-old genius with nowhere to go. So he became a consultant for DuPont, building simulation software to help them spend their billion-dollar budgets. The problem was, his computer models kept telling them not to spend the money. They'd lose it all, the software predicted. Give it back to shareholders instead. After 18 months of this, Saylor had an idea. Why work for someone else when you could build the future yourself? He walked into DuPont and quit. Then he asked them to hire him back as a contractor for $250,000. They said no 24-year-old gets $100,000 up front. It's too risky.
Saylor looked at them in the eye and said, "You have to give me the $100,000 because I have no money." They gave him the money. MicroStrategy was born. What Saylor built next was revolutionary. This was 1989, before Google, before Facebook, before anyone understood what data could do. Saylor was building software that could take massive amounts of information and turn it into business intelligence. Think about what Google does today with your search history, what Facebook does with your behavior, what Amazon does with your purchases. Saylor was building the same technology in the early 90s, but for corporations.
By the late 90s, MicroStrategy was running Super Bowl ads.
MicroStrategy, the power of intelligent e-business.
They had contracts with McDonald's, Whole Foods, Adidas, Visa. Saylor was worth $3 billion and living like it. Private jets, celebrity parties, renting out football stadiums for company events. He was making bold predictions about mobile technology throughout the 90s, foreseeing that smartphones would replace everything. Classrooms, doctor's visits, shopping, entertainment. All of it would move to a device in your pocket. Remember, this was the 90s. The iPhone wouldn't exist for another 8 years. Then came March 2000. The SEC sent MicroStrategy a letter accusing them of fraudulent revenue reporting. In one day, Saylor's net worth dropped by $6 billion. The stock fell 98% in 5 days. Most companies would have died. Most CEOs would have resigned in disgrace. But Saylor didn't quit. He settled with the SEC, paid the fines, and spent the next 20 years rebuilding. For 2 decades, MicroStrategy grew slowly and steadily. They built new products, got new clients, stayed profitable. But Saylor stayed out of the spotlight. The man who once predicted the future was now just another software CEO. Then 2020 happened, and everything changed.
By 2020, MicroStrategy had $500 million sitting in cash revenues. In normal times, that's good business, but these weren't normal times. The Federal Reserve was printing money faster than ever before. Interest rates were at zero. Inflation was starting to creep up. Saylor watches his company cash lose purchasing power every single day. That's when he discovered Bitcoin. Saylor didn't just buy Bitcoin, he studied it. He read every paper, watched every video, talked to every expert. He approached Bitcoin like the engineer he was, breaking it down the first principles. What he found changed his entire world value.
Bitcoin wasn't just digital money. It was digital energy. It was the first engineered monetary network in human history. It was finite, programmable, and incorruptible. In August 2020, MicroStrategy bought $250 million worth of Bitcoin. Wall Street thought he was crazy, but Saylor was just getting started. He didn't want to just own Bitcoin. He wanted to own as much Bitcoin as possible. The strategy was brilliant. When MicroStrategy's stock traded at a premium to its Bitcoin holdings, Saylor would sell shares and buy more Bitcoin. When the premium was high enough, he could effectively buy Bitcoin at a 50% discount. He also issued convertible bonds at near-zero interest rates. Institutional investors were happy to lend him money because they could profit from the volatility through arbitrage strategies. The result? MicroStrategy went from $250 million in Bitcoin to over 601,550 BTC, worth approximately $72 billion. Combined with Saylor's personal holdings of 17,732 BTC, worth $2.1 billion, he now controls approximately $74 billion in Bitcoin value. They became the largest corporate Bitcoin holder in the world.
Somewhere along the way, Saylor transformed from quiet CEO to Bitcoin's loudest advocate. He started appearing on every podcast, every conference, every media outlet that would have him. He created free educational courses about Bitcoin. He hosted strategy sessions for other CEOs. He combined companies like Tesla and Block to add Bitcoin to their balance sheets. His message was simple. Bitcoin is hope. It's the solution to monetary debasement. It's digital property that can't be confiscated, inflated away, or controlled by governments. Then Saylor made his boldest claim yet. By 2045, he predicted Bitcoin would be worth $13 million per coin. The math, according to Saylor, was straightforward. Bitcoin is digital property. As more people and institutions adopt it, the network effects compound. Eventually, Bitcoin becomes the global reserve asset. If Bitcoin captures even a fraction of the global store of value market, $13 million per coin isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Critics calling him delusional. Saylor called them short-sighted.
Not everyone bought Saylor's Bitcoin vision. Traditional investors called MicroStrategy's strategy reckless. They pointed to the leverage, the volatility, the regulatory risks. When Bitcoin crashed in 2022, falling from 69,000 to 15,000, the critics seemed vindicated. MicroStrategy's stock fell even harder than Bitcoin. Saylor was sitting on billions in unrealized losses. But he didn't sell. He didn't panic. He kept buying. We're going to hold our Bitcoin for 100 years, Saylor said. This is digital immortality. When Bitcoin recovered in 2024, hitting new all-time highs above $100,000, Saylor looked like a genius again. Saylor's influence extends beyond corporate boardrooms. He's become a key figure in Bitcoin policy discussions, advocating for a strategic Bitcoin reserve, where the U.S. government would accumulate Bitcoin as a national asset. With the Trump administration's crypto-friendly stance, Saylor's vision of America as the Bitcoin superpower doesn't seem so far-fetched anymore. He's not just trying to make money. He's trying to reshape the global financial system. Today, Michael Saylor controls more Bitcoin than most countries. His company's strategy has inspired dozens of others to follow suit. He's turned MicroStrategy from a software company into a Bitcoin investment vehicle. The question isn't whether Saylor is right about Bitcoin. The question is what happens to the global economy if he is. If Bitcoin really does hit $13 million per coin, Saylor will control trillions of dollars in value. He'll be one of the most powerful people on Earth. If Bitcoin fails, he'll lose everything again. But this time, he's taking thousands of other companies and millions of investors with him.
Michael Saylor has lived 3 different lives. The tech visionary who predicted the mobile revolution, the fallen billionaire who lost everything in the dot-com crash, the Bitcoin prophet who bet his company's future on digital gold. Each transformation was more dramatic than the last. Each bet was bigger than the one before. Now he's making his final wager, not just on Bitcoin, but on a completely different monetary system. A world where governments can print money at will, where individuals control their own wealth, where digital property replaces physical assets. Whether Saylor is a visionary or a madman, history will decide. But one thing is certain, he's not backing down. In a world of infinite money printing, Michael Saylor chose finite digital gold, and he's willing to bet everything that he's right. The greatest comeback in history is still being breathing, and Michael Saylor is holding the pen. My name is Star Platinum. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this type of content, please subscribe it and share with your friends. I'm just a guy who loves to share histories with you guys. So I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good day.